All right, it's time to look at my top 10 tight end rankings for week 1, and we're going right in it to number 10, Pat Freiermuth taking on that Falcons defense. And guys, I think Pat Freiermuth is going to be a big part of this Steelers offense. People kind of writing him off. He had a bad year last year and still was a top 7 tight end fantasy football wise. I think that coming with Arthur Smith over there, Arthur Smith's been in the NFL, and I've said this many times on the channel, he's been in the NFL 5 seasons. And the least target share the tight end position had under Arthur Smith is 25%. He's going to be involved into this offense, and people forget about him. He is a huge sleeper this year, and going against a Falcons defense where I think that it's going to be more of a back and forth type of game. I strongly believe that. And even though, yeah, they did improve on the free agency side with, Justin Simmons and Judon and all these guys on defense for the Falcons, I still think it's going to be a lot of opportunities for them to pass the football. I think that Freiermuth could be a huge benefactor of that with George Pickens on the outside running those routes. They got to account for him, right? So who's going to be underneath? A little bit of a safety blanket for Russell Wilson. He should be able to throw the football to Pat Freiermuth a lot, and that should be able to provide plenty of opportunity for you to be able to swoop in, whether you're playing DFS, getting a cheap tight end, whether you waited in your drafts to grab Pat Freiermuth, you start him. I think he's going to be solid for you week 1. Get this guy into your lineups. I think he's going to be surprised, and when he's going to land in the top 10 for tight ends in week 1. I have him in my top 10. It's going to happen, guys, and I want you to come back into the comment section after he does land in the top 10 and say, Bayou Bengal, you were correct on Pat Freiermuth in week 1. Thank me later, because it's going to happen. If you need yourself a tight end, go with Pat Freiermuth going against that Falcons defense. I think it's an absolute banger of a spot for Pat Freiermuth. Coming here at number 9, we're talking about Jake Ferguson taking on that Cleveland Browns defense. Now, the Browns do have a good defense. The thing that Jake Ferguson has for him is that he plays on the Cowboys, and there's only 2 main targets over there. It's CeeDee Lamb and it's Jake Ferguson. And Dak Prescott loves to throw the football. The running game really isn't there. Ezekiel Elliott, Dowdle, they just signed Dalvin Cook. I think they're going to be throwing the ball a lot against this daunting Cleveland defense. They're going to stuff the run and make Dak Prescott throw the football quite a bit. And I think Jake Ferguson's going to have himself a day. I like Jake Ferguson against the Cleveland Browns in week 1. We were along here at number 8. We're talking about George Kittle taking on this Jets defense. Okay, Jets defense, I think they're going to be pretty stout. I think they're going to be one of the better defenses in the NFL in 2024. But the fact remains, Brock Purdy's going to have to throw the football all over the field. We know we have Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield, and there's a plethora of weapons, whether it's Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel over there. But George Kittle should be the one that's going to be open, streak routing, out routing, first downs, touchdowns. It doesn't matter. George Kittle should have himself a nice game in week 1. One of the top tight ends, in my opinion. The opportunities are just going to be there. I think Brock Purdy's going to have to throw the football quite a bit to keep up not only with the Jets offense, but to try to keep pace with the Jets defense so that way they can stay on the field and not have 3 and outs. George Kittle can help them do that. I like him in week 1. Move right along here at number 7. We're going Kyle Pitts. He's taking on this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. So we just talked a little bit about Pat Freiermuth. Let's talk about Kyle Pitts. Could this be his year, right? Everybody's like, oh man, I'm just so out on Kyle Pitts. But listen, he finally has himself a quarterback in Kirk Cousins. Believe in Kyle Pitts this year. I think it's gonna be it. He's gonna be him. He's an athletic tight end that also is gonna be out there playing wide receiver quite a bit, not just the tight end role. He's gonna have a lot of opportunities in one-on-one spaces. He's a lot bigger than some of these outside corners. I think it's gonna be a mismatch, and I think he's gonna have plenty of opportunities to actually score, especially against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, where they do boast a pretty good defense. But I think Kyle Pitts should be able to dink and dunk. They do have Bijan Robinson they have to worry about. They do have Drake London they have to worry about. I think Kyle Pitts may get lost in the sauce a little bit. Not him, but this defense. And I think he'll have just enough fantasy points. I had to land him here at number 7 for me. Come here at number 6. We're going over Dalton Kincaid taking on that Arizona Cardinals defense. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to absolutely blow out the Cardinals. It is what it is. I'm putting it out there right now. That means Josh Allen, he's going to have to go out there and he's going to have to perform. And he can't just do it all on his legs. He's going to have to throw the football. The problem is, okay, who do we throw the football to? Is it going to be Keon Coleman? Is it going to be Curtis Samuel, Khalil Shakir? Who is it going to be? I think it's going to be Dalton Kincaid. He should be the one that should be the main benefactor of this Buffalo Bills offense, who should be able to catch a plethora of passes. This should be a really good time to get on there and get Dalton Kincaid, because if he has a monster game like I think he could have, his ADP, he's going to rise quite a bit, right? His trading and the asking price is going to be up there, right? So get in on why he's hot right now. You should be able to start him. He should be a nice set it and forget it tight end for you for the entire season, especially going against the Cardinals defense that I don't think they have any chance of absolutely stopping these guys whatsoever. Kincaid should have himself a nice week 1. Love him this week. So we're going over the next guy here. We're talking about Evan Ingram at number 5, taking on this Dolphins defense. And I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to have to throw the football. I think the Dolphins are going to outscore so fast on this Jaguars defense. Trevor Lawrence is going to have to put this on his arm and throw the football in week 1. One of the biggest benefactors is going to be Evan Ingram, right? Evan Ingram should have himself a game. He was leading the league for tight ends last year in targets and receptions. I think he could do the same thing this year. They just trust him so much with the football. If they need a first down or a touchdown, or if they just need a nice play, whether it's first, second, or third down, doesn't matter. Trevor Lawrence loves throwing this guy the football. And against the Dolphins defense, where they're going to have to just throw the ball a lot just to keep pace with the Dolphins offense, I think that Evan Ingram could be a big benefactor for that and give you a nice week 1. I had to put him here in my top 5. Coming here at number 4, we're talking about Trey McBride going against that Jacksonville Jaguars defense. So we're talking about kind of like the same. Well, no, Trey McBride's going against the Buffalo Bills this season. Look, I got it mixed up. Okay, guys, it happens. I'm getting a little older. That's fine. But Trey McBride going against the Buffalo Bills defense, right? We're gonna call a spade a spade. They're gonna have to keep up. I think the Bills are going to go out there and they're going to outscore the Cardinals and just blow the doors off of this defense. I think Kyler Murray's going to have to buckle down. He's going to go to the rookie a lot, Marvin Harrison. But if they start doing the clank on Marvin Harrison, he's going to have to go to his old tried and true Trey McBride, and he should have himself a week, especially against this Bills defense, who they have a good defense, right? But it's not really a defense of old, right? So they're a little bit worse than what we're used to, in my opinion, the Buffalo Bills. So I think that they're going to have a lot of opportunities to score a lot of points. They're going to have to keep up with the Bills, which means they're going to be in a negative game script, which means they're going to be throwing the football quite a bit. Trey McBride could be the benefactor of that, especially if they're double and triple teaming Marvin Harrison Jr. So let's move right along here. We're going over our number 3 guy. It's going to be Mark Andrews taking on that Kansas City Chiefs defense. Okay, it is what it is, right? This is going to be our Thursday night football game. Mark Andrews should be able to, let's see, how can we say this, right? He's the main guy. Right, he is the main pass catching guy. I don't want to hear about Zay Flowers or any of that stuff. It's Mark Andrews. I think Lamar Jackson is completely linked at the hips with this guy. He loves throwing him the football and getting him involved early and often throughout the entire game. He's going to be the reception king. I'm telling you, he's going to be target ultra as long as he can stay healthy. Unlike last year, if he can stay healthy this year, he could easily finish as the number 1 tight end in fantasy football. And I wouldn't be surprised going against this Chiefs team. Look, they're going to need Mark Andrews to be productive, right? The Chiefs are going to score. The Ravens are going to score. Who's going to be the last one scoring? Or I don't think it's going to be a defensive game. I think it's going to be more of an offensive game. Mark Andrews should be a benefactor. If the Ravens end up winning, he's going to be one of the reasons why. So move right along here at number 2. We're going over the flip of the coin. We're going Travis Kelce going against this Ravens defense. And just like I said for Mark Andrews, the same applies to Travis Kelce. He is a very trusted member from Patrick Mahomes throwing him the football. If they're going to win, Travis Kelce needs to be the reason why they do. You know, I mean, they do have Rashee Rice out there. Hollywood Brown's going to miss this game. They're not going to trust Xavier Worthy in such a big magnitude of a game. So they're either going to throw it to Rashee Rice or they're going to give a lot of opportunities to Travis Kelce. I like him in week 1. I think he is, again, another one of these tight ends who could finish as the number 1 tight end, which he has multiple years. And I wouldn't be surprised that he did. I mean, he is just that good of a guy. I love what you get yourself out of with Travis Kelce. So coming in at number 1, should be no surprise to a lot of people, Sam Laporta taking on this Rams defense. I think this is a beautiful game for Sam Laporta to go out there and absolutely wreck, right, a defense that shouldn't be able to keep up with him at all. They don't have a linebacker that can keep up with Sam Laporta. They don't. I don't care what you say in the comments. They don't. Sam Laporta is a trusted by Jared Goff. Should be able to get a lot of opportunities to catch the football and just to be dominant, right? He did great as a rookie, and I think he's going to continue that in his sophomore season and continue to be a top 3 tight end by the end of this season. He has so much opportunities, and only Amon-Ra St. Brown's over there targeting, challenging him for targets. So Sam Laporta, set it and forget it tight end each and every week, including this week against the Rams, guys. So just make sure you guys are hitting the like button and hit the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. And we're pumping out videos almost daily at this point, but every week, right? To ultimately help you hold that trophy up and win a championship, guys. I can't wait to see y'all on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.